Okay, hello everybody, this is Jess. Just gonna work on a few things late in the game World of Final Fantasy. The one thing about World of Final Fantasy that's a little different is that it doesn't tend to... It has like one save spot, unlike a lot of Japanese RPGs. So, unfortunately, in order to start over from the beginning with context with my new mic and everything, I wouldn't be able to do that without losing all my progress, and I'm trying to get to the end game. So, first thing we're going to do is go over and visit Mr. Tonberry. Tonberries are... Over here is our item shop person, which I don't need anything from currently. And in this game, the Mirages are all our friends. So the Tonberries were a creature that were, especially if any of you watching are fans of Final Fantasy VIII, one of them was called the Tonberry King. And the Tonberry King was a very special version of the Guardian Force from the... It was a very special version of the Guardian Force. Now, that fight was a pain in the butt because you had to, in order to fight it, you had to fight like, I think it was like 30 or 40, depending, Tonberries, and only Tonberries. And there were some really, really intense fights. In addition, there were these things called Forbiddens, which were just, oh my goodness, they were just brutal because they have this thing called an II strike. And the II strike could, if you weren't careful, could like wipe out your entire party and get you to start over. So it was one of those things where once you go to the ruins the first time and you get Odin, who is an optional Guardian Force that randomly shows up when he wants to, and you do all the puzzle solving and everything for that, then you go back to those ruins and you do that quest. And that quest is one of the longer quests in all of Final Fantasy VIII. Well, in World of Final Fantasy, Tonberries are actually much more friendly.
Going to the Colosseum.
So here he said, going to the Colosseum. He's much more of a talker. So he basically, and then of course I'm controlling Rain, but I can swap to. It doesn't really matter who I control in this particular instance, and then talk to him.
What is it?
Excuse me. Sorry. You got a little bit of a sniffle. And then these are the different Colosseum fights, which is pretty similar to how most Colosseum things in most Japanese RPGs are. And I'm getting close to the end of the game, so I'm the higher end stuff. But I've also imported quite a few saves and a few characters, and so I'm much more powerful than I normally would be the first time. So like this, if I wanted to get, actually I probably just really quickly just beat this just to show how ridiculously my stacks are ridiculous at this point. Stacks are basically, so this is like the Pokemon
this might not end well for you.
Let's make this quick.
And one of the new things with Final Fantasy Maximum was that you can actually, as long as you get the right champion medals and you get the right abilities and everything, then you can actually transform the twins into the heroes of the Final Fantasy heroes. So Terra's one of my favorite Final Fantasy heroes, and she's from Final Fantasy VI, and then Squall is also one of my favorites. And again, you don't really get any experience, and that was a very quick fight. So, and then basically trying to figure out how you're gonna do it. So yeah, so I got, then you can do a test of might, and then you can do time attacks, which those can be really challenging. But eventually, I believe there's actually rewards for completing every single possible. Ooh, that's interesting. But yeah, some of these are like really, really hard, even still. So I'm probably not going to take those on right, probably for this stream, because they're just going to take a while, and I don't really want to burn through a bunch of resources for no reason. Excuse me, like I said, I have a little bit of a sniffle. I'm not entirely sure where that came from. Probably just got something in my nose from like some coffee or something. So yeah, like, and then these as you're working. So Testamites, what they'll do is there's these things called Armor Gems, and those will give you those abilities where if you trade them, you can get the champion medals for, and then see I'm swapping characters that or mirages that can walk around alongside you, and those are really cute. So we're gonna travel back to the hub, and I'm having it on normal right now just because nightmare difficulty is useful, but there's really no point in going crazy with and spending a whole bunch of resources and stuff if I'm just wanting to show and move on the story and get to the end game, the new stuff that is new to the Maximo that I haven't never experienced, and you guys obviously
Welcome to the Chocolate Mart
as well. So yeah, so I'm gonna buy a couple. Let's see, how much do I have? I have 6,000. So let's see, if I can probably buy a couple more Remembers. That helps with forgetfulness, which is basically their version of silence. Let's see. Oh, I probably should buy one of those just in case. I should buy a couple, so I have them for some mirage catching, because I have the feeling I'm gonna need them, because I don't have blind on every single. I don't have those status effects on every single character yet. I mean, I usually get one of them, and then these are the high-end stuff that usually require like a lot of money that I just... Ooh, that's an outbox. The heck is that? Oh, that's new. Huh. So yeah, probably... actually, no. I don't need that right now.
Have a fantabulous day!
So... And then... what we can do is... probably before I move on with the story, because I'm near, like I said, I'm near the end. I'm going to be facing off against what are known as the Pleiad, and that's going to lead me toward the end of the story. So
whose soul will you touch?
So I'm doing intervention quests, and those are kind of fun. They're just fun little. Yeah, it's like, because this would be, so this is the one where I was telling some of you about fighting Bahamut, and then defeat the demon, and then avenge your ancestors, and then clash the swords. Excuse me. And I'm pretty sure I've done all of, actually, we can do this one. This one will be pretty easy. This one's actually fun because this, I believe, is actually a brand new.
Something's out there.
Fenrir is obviously from mythology.
I know, Fenrir.
Some of
you can
you
sense it too.
will know
If it's
from
making
Norse
my horn act up
mythology.
like this, then it can only be a mirage with some kind of connection to my tribe.
And of course, you know, this is
We'd
one
better
of
go
those.
check it out.
This is one of those with, you know, like, it's because it's a mashup. Some of the lore is a little bit fuggy, so
Is this the spot?
foggy. Excuse me, not fuggy.
I can feel it. Are you the mirage who's been calling us? What is it? You don't mean to fight us. Fenrir, get ready!
Yeah. And I love the music. The music's actually been really cool, and I believe.
Cool. I didn't know Aiko's horn was real.
Sure seems that way.
You know, once upon a time, a horn used to be the sign of every summoner.
Huh, I didn't know that. So Aiko must be descended from an ancient line of them.
Yeah, so like they said, Aiko, whatever, tomato, tomato. So, yeah. Ooh, yeah. I forgot that and then of course there's elemental affinities and all that other fun stuff based on the stack. That's one of the most fun parts about the mechanics with this, and yeah, so and basically the lore with these are that you are in this room that bends the rules of reality, so you can intervene whenever you want to help out with your friends. And of course, because it's a JRPG, it's the power of friendship and all that other fun stuff. So and that is actually a major part of the storyline. So we're getting to the point where we're trying to fix the mistakes of what are known as the Demon Dyad, which, spoiler, is the two twins. And they screwed up yet again, and, you know, lost the memory and screwed up yet again, and had to fix their mistakes. So we're close to the end with this alternative timeline. Basically, before that, one of the characters sacrificed all 9 of their lives.
His magic is unbelievably strong.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure this one's actually
There's something
brand
about
new
him
as a
that
part
feels
of.
so familiar.
There's some characters that
is there
are
a
some
reason you
mirages,
called out to us
not
like that?
characters. There's some mirages that are.
What?
Aiko, we are so proud of you. Still so young, and yet you have carried the tribe's heavy burden with head held high. Thank you.
Is that the mirage talking? Wait, I know this voice.
Yeah.
Aiko, these are dark times, and Grimoire faces a terrible crisis. The world will soon have need of the power our tribe possesses, and the mirages who answer our call.
The mirages who answer our call? What do you mean? Are there others out there besides Fenrir?
You share a connection with many mirages. You must find them. Join their power with yours, and wield it well. The future is yours. May it be bright.
Wait!
You are not alone, Aiko. The tribe will always be watching over you.
Yeah, and I love the voice acting in this.
Fenrir. Know who that was? That had to have been one of my ancestors' mirages. Come to think of it, Grandfather once told me, after I celebrate my 16th birthday, I would be able to form bonds with many different mirages. But now, I need to focus on the things I can accomplish in the present. After all, I've still got a long, long way to grow. Fenrir, can I count on you to be there for me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Grimoire's in
so
danger. And if it needs my tribe's power, the summoner's power, then I'll share it with you. Rain, Lon.
So, and sometimes the characters actually kind of notice that you intervene, but I wanted to have you listen in on, this is one of my favorite pieces of dialogue with Eiko's story. I've done all of these intervention quests,
Shall we get started?
and
now?
yeah, she's like sort of a god herself. I don't really know, like some of the lore is a little bit mysterious. Like, it's really interesting because the lore in this game is actually like its own little subset that excuse me, it's its own little subset, and it has its own story that has a lot of repercussions. Now, I don't think it's ever really, with this new definitive edition, I don't think it's sold well enough to actually have a sequel, although I would love a sequel to this game because it's super cute. The story is wonderful. I mean, it's really sad, and some of the stuff is, and at some point we will actually get to the end of the story, because again, in order to get to some of the new stuff, and it is really sad, but it is really impactful, surprisingly impactful for, you know, for a Pokemon Light, you know, that's
I must do my part and fight.
let's see, we can just skip forward just a little bit to get to this next fight. And if I remember right, this fight
Mirage in his latest report sounds particularly nasty.
So I'll take this one. Terra, I think, if I remember right, this fight's going to be hilarious. Mirage is too hideous to be true. Now, this one's funny.
You can handle this, Terra. Come on.
So, yeah, so basically...
Don't tell me you haven't heard of Ultros. This puss belongs to an octopus extraordinaire.
So, Ultros
Is this the Mirage from the report?
Ultros was this pain in the
having trouble
butt
around here.
from
Is it you?
Final Fantasy VI. In Final Fantasy VI, he was a smart... he was just a smart aleck, and he just basically was in everybody's way, and he was just this nuisance that was really comic relief. And you had to fight him like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times before he finally died. So that's essentially what they're making fun of with Ultros. And so Ultros is planning an ambush, and then they really are a nasty Mirage, blah 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 blah. Doesn't matter. You just see people. And with this one, the way that they explain it away is that these characters, the Grimoire version of them, doesn't necessarily remember the events of the games. So
I can't believe
yeah, so blah blah blah.
One day it's gonna be your undoing, I'm afraid.
No,
Yeah.
you don't believe me. I'm actually a really nice guy. An octopus guy. Actually, I'm just an octopus.
What? Really? Oh, well, why didn't you tell us that sooner?
Wait, what part of him looks really nice?
Huh? Well, no part of it, duh!
Yeah, and
Tell me he didn't trick you too.
We have an octopus to fight! This thing!
we have an octopus to fight. Yep.
Ouch!
So, and this one will get you. This one's like the last actual showdown with him in an intervention quest. You do end up fighting him again in the arena. I believe after you do this fight, you actually get the chance to encounter him in the arena, and there's a certain requirement that you need to do to actually get him, which in the past I haven't done because it's rather specific.
Dun, da, da, da.
Da, 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 da. I've gotten his transmog, so I've because of his species and everything, so I've been running around with an Ultros, but I have not actually had this Ultros with the voice acting and everything. This unique character from Final Fantasy VI. I've just found his species as well.
Predictable.
That I've evolved, much like how you do Pokemon. It's very similar in that way. So, yep, fought him, and we're just gonna skip through because it gets blah 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 blah. It was too hideous to be true. Yeah. So yeah, and like I said, I'm just wrapping up some of these easier.
Good morning.
And then there's
What
difficulties and.
Whose soul will you touch?
Before we go and fight Bahamut, which, oh my goodness. Oh no, that's right. Yep, I gotta, now, yep. Right. That's the last one. You fight him. And then Steel of the Forge's Destinies. Don't remember which one this one is. It's been a while since I've done all these intervention quests, and I'm pretty sure they don't add any new ones in this iteration before you beat the new game plus stuff and the optional dungeons and everything. Oh, there's Tifa. I love Tifa. Let's see. Blah 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 blah. Appearance of this mechanical monsters. We're gonna fight about the prophecies. Blah 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 blah. Yep. And then you're blaming yourselves and. It's all upside down, and Cogna. Cogna are the bad guys that got summoned into this world by Rain and Lon because they got tricked. And so if you're not gonna help, blah blah blah, go ahead and believe in a prophecy, then blah 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 blah. We won't help because we're clergy, and then Tifa's there always be times. Speech, I'm not giving up. I'm defending this town with the powers in my hand. Final heaven. Bah. There we go. And then boss music, because we're actually fighting an actual
Final heaven! Wow, talk about your killer punches.
I'll say. And she never would have pulled it off if she hadn't believed in herself. She never gives up. We could all learn a lot from her.
Yup, I'm gonna start right now. Lawn punch!
That's what you took away from this, huh?
Oh, I love Lon. He's such a dork. And there was actually, they were originally going to make it, and then, so this was actually something I was going to show you with, now that I have audio. So when you pick your character with the things, you actually get some of the abilities of those changes. So there we go. So like Rough Divide is one of his movesets, for example. So then this one is Tira's special ability.
This is it!
Which is very similar to how it was in Final Fantasy VI, where she comes from. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna pound the heck out of this thing, which will be easy. He's not that challenging. Yeah, I mean, again, almost all, even the really, really hard, like 4 or 5 star ones aren't necessarily going to be that over insanely difficult yet on normal difficulty. So I can talk to you all while play. I'll only have to somewhat focus. Let's see. Yeah. And then once it'll load. Beautiful. There we go. All that training paid off. Well, did you call that a miracle? You're still just a heretic. Bah, choose what you believe. Bah, bah, bah. Think about higher powers. They don't always help us. I'm sorry. We need to band together. Yep, and our help will come when we earn it. So yeah, and so again, yeah.
Shall we? What now?
Oh, excuse me.
Whose soul will you touch?
I'm not sure what these burps are all about. Oh boy. Alright, let's see. Get that. Mega potion. And I believe this fight is going to be against... Well, once we get to this fight, I will tell you, because I'm pretty sure if my memory serves, this is the fight with the iconic... Yep, and there's Yuna. And Yuna so when they talk about the sad spiral, this is actually, and some of you who have played Final Fantasy X that have come and seen this, Yuna is the sacrificial lamb, essentially, who, like a lot of summoners, goes off and does their death, and that's a major plot point in Final Fantasy X, and she ultimately breaks the cycle, and this person is going to go off and try and basically be a sacrifice to pull the basically sacrifice her life so that everybody else can be safe, and everybody else who's too terrified to go out of their homes, and she feels like that's the only way to do it, which is really sad. And then thank you for delivering the message, because you'll never, it's not like it'll be far. Stop that, I'm sorry, but this isn't right. I don't think she's giving you hope. You don't give me hope. But she's so stubborn I couldn't. Please save my daughter. I can't keep pretending this is okay. It's not. Yeah. Then running.
Where am I?
Oh, this is weird. Is this new?
What are you doing?
Oh, right.
What gives you the right to stand between her and her choices?
And who are you?
Do you respect her resolve so little you would trample all over it?
No, it's not that.
But you know exactly why she made the choice she did. You accepted it and allowed her to go.
Yeah, sacrifice to the good of the many. I won't lie of it. Well, then prove to me. Blah blah blah. Yep, and then fight her. That's right. It's 2 fights in a row. I forgot that you fight her.
Hey,
fight this
sorry
thing.
to butt in while you're trying to test Yuna's strength.
You don't mind, right? The strength of friends is the greatest strength of all.
Wow, slap that onto a greeting card ASAP.
So yeah, and then each of these spells have their own. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, that must be a new one. And then as you work with your different stacks and everything, you get certain abilities that are exclusive to that particular stack. So there we go. Yeah, and I took out like half of her health. Like right
I've got
there.
this.
And then each turn, as you're fighting, yeah, I figured Nerval 4 was going to be resistant to magic. But that's fine, because it's going to be a fairly easy fight, honestly. We're just going to weaken her a bit. Yeah. And that's the Sonic Wings attack. And then slow down just a little bit, but still relatively easy. I don't necessarily have to worry that much It's not like some of the final boss fights and stuff of the actual end. Yeah, boom, done. And then I got my MP back, which is very helpful for. And then that replenishes as you're going. So, and then you got a fire spell stone, and then a little bit more money, and then it'll go right next
You have
into.
proven the depth of your resolve.
Wield it now
I
as
offer you all of my power. Wield it now as you see fit.
Yep. And there's Valfor, which is awesome. I love Valfor so much.
Don't
Yep.
do this!
Ultimate weapon. And then got a. Yep. So ultimate weapon is the weaker of the two weapons and was this optional boss. And in the main campaign, which I already have some gameplay footage of it, but again, didn't have audio with it. But Super Ultimate Weapon, they just basically made a joke about how they wanted to make something so, you know, it was going to be quite a bit extensive to fight. It was going to be a multi-stage battle. It was going to be one of the toughest fights in the game, which initially, way back when I played this a couple years ago when it came out, it was really, really hard. It was on par with some of the boss fights of some of the super boss fights of the older Final Fantasies, where it took hours to actually beat. And then in my actual gameplay, Super Ultimate Weapon only took one phase. I managed to one phase, which is extremely rare. That's not usual. So Omega Weapon, or sorry, not Omega Weapon, Ultimate Weapon. Ultimate Weapon is basically the less powerful version of Omega Weapon, but still really, really powerful. You usually got to do a ton of preparation in almost all the Final Fantasy games to actually fight it. It's fairly involved. And yeah, gravity counter. But again, because I'm very high level. What the heck? That was weird. Oh, okay, never mind. So yeah, because I'm such a high level, it's not gonna be all that challenging. I could still die, obviously, if I'm not really paying attention, but you know, I'm hitting about 2,000-3,000, which took me forever to actually get to that point before. And yeah, and then of course, you know, in the lore of this game, Ultimate Weapon is just a very powerful sentient machine, and evil machine that wants to consume life, and is one of the leaders of the Cogna. And the Cogna are specifically mirages that, you know, want to consume all life, etc., etc. And if they're thinking, then they're evil Cogna and all that stuff. So yeah, and then I got an elixir format. Oh, excuse me.
Are they here?
Yeah. And then you need to think of those you're leaving behind. Your mother's waiting for you. Yeah, and then of course that's a icon that talks about how that's actually a reference to the plot of Final Fantasy X, where, you know, it's everybody was hopeless and so mired in all of these traditions and everything that were not necessarily accurate. Didn't need to be around. They just were there and it was just this idea that, oh well, that's just what you do. Huh. Oh, right. Yeah. I was like, what the heck's a clear crest? Right. That's a thing for
Shall we get
challenging.
What now?
Challenging a boss. In the Crystal Tower, which again, Crystal Tower is a reference to a couple of older Final Fantasies, Final Fantasy 3 specifically. Yeah, resist magic down. Let's see. There's quite a few that, and then these get more and more. No one's tools, bridges, woes, It's like, believe I can actually do this one now. Sweet, yes, this is the bonus one. And I can show you this bonus one that was made in conjunction with, I forget exactly the team.
What could be wrong?
Yeah, basically gods are talking to each other, and this Alexander had a few modifiers and everything, and eventually became the source behind the great big bridge in Eidolon, and Anacro is the god of creation. And then, yep, it's a gigantic mech. Oh, yep. What is that thing? The most powerful Cogna. Blah blah blah. What are we doing? Oh, I love that. Yeah, but it should easily be still doable.
Dude, we totally did not come prepared for this.
Anacro! Don't just leave us here! Tell us what is going on!
Oh, okay. Maybe I am gonna get my butt kicked, but I think I'm actually prepared for it. Oh yeah, he's pretty tough. He's one of the tougher fights in the game. He is an optional boss, but he's an optional boss that you can get. That was just added on as DLC, free DLC. We're just gonna hit him a little bit, soften him up. Right. He does that attack. I'm just trying to remember all the attacks that he does. Oh. Yeah. Oh, yep. Okay. This is interesting. I have not played this game. I have not played this fight in so long. How? Oh, that wasn't okay. Huh. I was not aware that was going to be a thing. Well, that's good to know. Let's see. Well, let's see if Rectify does anything. I guess we're just gonna kind of experiment. Oh, that didn't do anything. That didn't do anything for me. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Wow, this fight's gonna take a while. Let's see. Store a large amount of key. Yep. Away fly. Yeah. Hit you. Soften up a little bit. With some physical attacks. And hit hit you with my most powerful magic that I have, which is Holy.
I've got this.
Holy is no joke. I wonder if the dog does anything. Not really. But still doing pretty good as far as length and everything of the fight, and he's not completely destroying me like the very first time I wandered into this fight, and I was not prepared for that fight, and I was just like, oh. I was very, very underleveled way back in the day when it initially came out, which I think it came out like the first month or so. Yeah. Ooh, okay. Hold on. New. Right. Let's do that. There we go. And then let's do that. I'll get those back. Those are pretty big deals, but I usually get enough money that I can buy those again if I absolutely need them. Yeah. Let's see. Well, sense. He'd resist dark because he's a machine. Does make sense. Well, actually, what I could probably do is use one of my spell stones instead.
Yeah.
Hit him with that, and that usually does about 2,500. Okay, he resists a little bit, but yeah, it usually does more damage than a physical attack does. Let's see. Hit you that. Hit you with. I don't know what water gun does. Probably not really a whole lot. Oh, water gun does more damage than Thundaga does, though. Yeah, and then, of course, there's stack stability and all that fun stuff with some mechanics. Yeah, just hammer away at him until I can get some of my MP throughout the battle back. Oh man, I love this fight. I forgot how fun this fight is. There's a lot I forgot about this fight. One that I completely forgot about. Oh, that was a very nice. Naughty. Kiraga.
I've got this.
that should bring me mostly to where I need to be. And then do high ether for you, so that you're ready for, there we go. Shoot that, I guess. Why not? Yeah, it's not really gonna do much for me, but that's fine. Ooh, ouch. Duly noted. Both of my characters are weak against lightning. Like, really weak against lightning.
Come on!
Nice. Oh. Ouch. Stand. Holy cow. I hope I have an elixir.
This'll do.
That's important. No! Oh boy. Yeah. Alright. Alright, Kiraga. Need to Kiraga the heck out of this and pray that this fight. Alright, restack. Thank you! I am not going to be able to survive otherwise. That will not be good. Especially when he does an attack that does so much damage. Oh, okay. Well, that wasn't too bad. No! Wobble stopper. Time for a wobble stopper. Not afford to have you get knocked off of your perch. That would be very, very bad. Do 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 do. Oh yes, you missed. Wahaha. That's right, you missed. Yeah, sorry this fight's taking a while. I am still remembering how this fight goes. Normally these fights don't take that long. But it's a good object lesson for some of the more difficult fights. Which, I mean, the final boss fight is the actual real final boss fight for the real ending is pretty intense. I've actually died many times because I've got a little bit overconfident and I didn't have the right prerequisite ability stacks and defenses and all that fun stuff. I was like, oh yeah, I can totally do that, and then he'd do this one attack that would just blast me to infinity and beyond, and confuse me and all these other lovely things, and I'd lose control of at least one of my characters, and then, yeah, it just was not good. So yeah, don't do that. Make sure that, ideally make sure that you can control both characters, but if you can't, if there's no way to do that, then make sure that you can control at least one character and make them immune to almost all of the major, make them immune to most of the major, to most of the major negative status effects. So so some of them like confusion, oblivion, which is basically silence, their version of silence. Usually that's fairly easy to treat, and most of the time you can usually go just fine with a couple of turns with that on and cycle through just fine. It all depends. It depends on how quick your characters are and everything. But yeah, in general, that's just a general rule that most of the time, as long as you have at least one character that acts as a medic, and in those situations, then you don't necessarily have to worry that much. Yeah, and then of course he's going to get more and more difficult the lower his HP goes. So we're going to try and finish him off as quickly as we can, but he has this super long animation, the gigantic fist, and into a fist, and bringing it down, and hopefully that doesn't wipe out my party. Ha! Well, not quite. Alright. X potion. You. Yeah, I know you're gonna get wobbled, but there's not really a whole lot I can do about that.
Huh?
So there. It should buy me enough time that I can restore you. There we go. There we go. Cool. Don't fall. Okay, good. Yeah, I knew that was gonna make him wobble, but there we go. Cool. And then
Not done yet.
This'll do.
there we go. Just in case he does the up. I knew he was gonna do that. So I was like, I better get to full health. That's a wise idea. Yeah, so let's fast forward through this part. Yep. Awesome. That's all I needed to know. Yep. finish you off with this, that'd be awesome. No? Dang it. You're so close. Come on, die. We can be done with this fight.
Yeah.
Probably. Maybe. No! Oh! No! Naughty boy. Ugh. Water spell stone. Hopefully that does it. Are you serious? Oh, come on. Alright, my dude. Thank you. You died. Finally.
No
That was way more brutal than it needed to be. Oh, sweet. Yep. No, we're just gonna use that name. And I guess we'll keep him so we can have him level up with us. I don't think I need you. Yeah. Yep. Yep, and then I'm saving now so I can access there, and then it'll go back to the screen. There we go. Yep. Off we go back to the desert region so I can travel. Oh yeah, that's right. I have their cool music with my little, well, not little, he's not little, he's kind of big, but yes, my very helpful little mount that speeds things up. Alright. So we're going to travel back to Ninewood Hills. And then we're going to hopefully have enough that we can buy some more stuff.
Morning, new.
Yeah.
Well.
Yep. Ooh, yes, please. I need one of that. I need. That's probably good for now.
Have a fantabulous day.
Cool. All right. And then. we're gonna go back and save. And there we go.
I'm taking a break.
From
What now?
what? You don't do anything.
Whose soul will you touch?
Alright, let's see. Oh. And then could do all these if I wanted to. But I'm thinking that I'll just do let's see. Finish your ancestors. Actually, what I'm gonna do is take a break and then come back to this and do the actual these four and then move on with the story. So I will see you guys in a little bit.
What now? Goodbye.